friends. Thank you for joining me again today, Wednesday, July 6th, year 2016. Let me seize the opportunity to wish our Muslim brothers and sisters happy celebrations. May your fasting not all be in vain. Amen. And truly, if you have for 30 days abstained from those things, whatever they are, it might just not be a bad idea to continue in the same light. Happy celebrations, and I sincerely wish you all the best as you strive to continue in the spirit of which you have lived in the last 30 days. Ogunyemi Olugbenga, good afternoon in Nigeria, I guess. It's good morning here in Cartersville, Georgia. Biodun Akomolafe, good morning. Henry, hi, and how are you? Good afternoon in Nigeria. I hope you all are doing good. I look bored. I look boring. I almost was going to cancel this thing this morning because my mood, my spirit, my everything was not one on the bubbly side. But again, in life, you have responsibilities to people and you've just got to fulfill them. That's exactly what I'm doing this morning, an afternoon by Nigerian time right now. I'm happy as usual to always have you around me. I thank you all for always sparing time to be with me. I sincerely appreciate you all. I truly love you all, and God knows I feel blessed to have you all always come around me. This morning, something crossed my mind that I feel is worth talking about, and I'm hoping that it would also help me to be able to forgive. A couple of years ago, the story is complicated, so you have to kind of be very patient and follow me. A couple of years ago, I met a lady called Peju. Through Peju, I met another lady called Yemi. Somehow, I just fell in love with Yemi. She was all over me, calling me. We were Skyping together, always talking. You know, when women talk now, we talk about men, we talk about all sorts. So, somehow, I just got more close to Peju. To Yemi. I got closer to Yemi than Peju that introduced Yemi to me. Somehow, along the line, we both got talking about Peju. Not positively. Yemi would throw things up about her, and she would tell, because she really knew Peju more than me, and she would tell things about Peju. Now, I did one thing that I knew was wrong at the end of the day. Initially, it wasn't wrong to me. I thought it was okay. I like Yemi. We were just gisting and talking. And fortunately for me, there were some exchanges that we made in terms of writing, chatting, and so on that depicted exactly what transpired. At the end of the day, anyway, bottom line, Yemi and I had a bitter separation, and she is one who knows to talk and swear by her children. I've never seen anybody like that, because I won't swear, I won't lie and put my kid's life on the line at stake. I would never do it. I don't do it. But this girl swore. And there were people like, some guy here abroad, I don't want to say his name, that all were for her. They were like, no, I'm the one telling the lie. To cut the story short, everybody separated. Now, Peju did something that I want us to carefully listen to. Now, before Peju got to me, I was always saying to God, God, before I die, let the truth concerning this situation come out. My name was rubbished. I was nothing. Yemi made a good job of making sure that I was completely finished. Nobody believed me. Nobody. Couple of months down the line, now what happened? Peju just threw a post up on our wall talking about friends, type of friends. But you know, because Yemi had this guilty conscience, she knew what she had done with me concerning Peju. She just quickly sent a message to Peju like, Ore, what's going on? I hope you are okay. So Peju said immediately she saw that message, something told her that something was amiss. Biodun Akomolafe, good morning again. Chike, thank you for joining. Adeyemi Lawal, Omobolanle, Tokwe Adediwura, I appreciate you all. Thank you all for joining. So Peju said she sensed that something was amiss. And then Peju just called me. Peju was in London then. She shuttles between London and Nigeria now. And she said, Sister Joy, what did I do to you that you said this to Yemi, you did that with Yemi, you did X with Yemi? Meanwhile, a couple of months before then, I did Peju a message. I said, Peju, you will hear some things. I beg you in the name of God, when you hear these things, endeavor to please ask me. I didn't want to be the one that would now go and say, Yemi said this about Peju. So I wanted Peju to please, whatever she had, trust me enough to come back to me. She did not. So when she now eventually came back to me after she did her post that Yemi was, she said she just felt like Yemi was jumpy. And she sensed that something was not going on right. So Peju called me. And I still told her my side of the story. I apologized because I was wrong. You see, what I did to Peju was a case of one Agbaya. I met Yemi through Peju. And the least I could have done when Yemi and I got talking about, instead of joining Yemi to talk about Peju, which we women do. I'm going somewhere today if you actually just carefully follow me. We women have a way of we have a friend. Okay, Emmanuel, I see you. Uncle Gabriel, Dare, I see you. Thank you all for joining. Because I can see you're already reminding me that I haven't mentioned your name. Okay, I see you all and I appreciate you. Now, where am I going with this story? We women have a way, when we are friends, we will talk about our lives. We will talk about each other. Married women will tell about their boyfriend. You will say everything. But wait until the day there is a fight. When Peju called me, I am an Ekiti woman to the core. And there's something that they call, I have it to do. I don't even know how I derailed morally on the grounds of me talking about somebody else to someone. Anyway, I apologized to Peju. I was apologizing, I was crying. I said, Peju, I thank you that you came to me. I thank you that you came back to me. Let me tell you what happened. Even after I told her everything that happened and she got to Yemi, Yemi was still swearing, flaring up. She's a liar. I told you not to talk to her. She manipulates. She's this. She's good at that. That's her job. But something just struck my mind. I said, don't you go to your archive? I did not copy and paste my chat with Yemi to Peju. I gave Peju my password. I said, Peju, if I copy and paste, Yemi will say I doctored information. This is my password. Go and read my conversation, my chat with this girl concerning you. As God would have it. Everywhere that Yemi caused Peju out, on her birthday, on days that I would say, have you talked to Peju today? That I would say, Olori Buruku Oloshe. Everything was just there. When Peju read it, Peju called me and she was crying. I said to Peju, Peju, you are right. I was wrong. I met this lady through you. At the point that she started talking bad about you, and I joined. I'm not saying I didn't do it, oh. Don't get me wrong. At the point that because she was the one that actually first said, what is your relationship with Peju? And I said, I just met her online like I have met you. And then she went on like, don't tell her anything about us, or be secretive, or be this and that. And the thing was that Yemi was always talking to me. She was always on Skype to me. I just loved her. She has this nice, sweet voice. You will not but love her. After Peju read everything, and Peju saw that I was one telling the truth, months after, all the people that carried the rumor, the story, the everything away, they didn't hear the truth. Maybe some will hear it now from me, but they never had the truth. Where am I going here? First and foremost, when two females are doing friends, especially if you met one through the other, please be very careful in relating with both of them, especially if either of the two now begin to speak evil about the other one. I was stupid, I fell flat, and I was guilty. Thank you, Lara, for joining. I appreciate you. Now, how did I apologize to Peju? After all this sorry, you see, I was just so happy that God vindicated me. It didn't bother me that 100 people or 50 people or whatever number of people had gone, they had maligned me. Doyin Sajiku then meant nothing on Facebook. That didn't worry me. I was just contented that God vindicated me. And that Peju, the person that I offended, forgave me. I didn't stop begging Peju with words of mouth. Peju's father died. And just to show Peju that I was truly sorry and I really was for her, I bought a $3,000 ticket and attended Peju's father's funeral in Ilesha. I know today, Peju and I were like this. Ironically, we don't even talk about Yemi. We don't. We just saw through her. We saw through everything. How do I text you? Don't you know that when you join, the Facebook is going to give you out and say, this person has joined? That's how I saw you, Winch. Or a Winch. Lara talking to you. Solomon Ajibade, thank you for joining. Now, I went the extra mile to I was remorseful. Sincerely, I was. I cried. I was sorry. I told Peju how sorry I was. Then I followed it up with actions. She had her father's funeral coming, and I was fully involved. You would think Peju was born after me because I'm older than her. In fact, I felt like such a big agbaya between them. Like, how could I have put myself in that situation? But I made sure that in every humanly possible way, I made my peace with Peju. And Yemi to date, once in a while, she actually still just gets to me and wants to be funny. The person she married, she met through me. And I would have thought that was is enough for her to be grateful to me. But of course, she still comes out and wants to spike and things like that. Till tomorrow. Sometime last week, Peju sent me a message and said, Auntie Doyin, guess what? Can you believe I don't remember that girl that tried to separate us? I don't remember her name. I was just laughing. I said, don't tell me you don't remember Yemi's name. Say, Ronnie. Can you believe I forgot? She just didn't remember. That was forgiveness at its peak. But I wasn't just forgiven on a platter of gold. I worked for it. That's where I'm going. I worked for that forgiveness. I knew I had done Peju wrong. I talked about Peju. I'm aligned her with Yemi. If Yemi brought Peju's gist to me, if I'm a good person, should I not have said, shut up, don't join, or just say, Some people have perfected that thing, though. When you bring people's topic to them, they'll just say, that thing taught me that thing. And the one that I will not be able to say in the presence of the person I'm talking about, I don't say it behind the person again. It was a good experience for me. It taught me well. Yesterday, I don't know if you would want me to put his name out, but I'll just say his first name, Dele. Dele said that a couple of weeks ago, now when I tell people that I'm not a PDP or a party or APC person, they don't believe me. Segun wanted to go for the PR job of the party. The thing had not been zoned to Segun's morning, Kunle, how are you? The thing had not been zoned to Segun's the thing had not been zoned. Yeah, Ogunyemi Olugbenga, I'll come back to your comment. The thing had not been zoned to Segun's zone. But because of my person and my way of thinking, I believed in Segun Showunmi. And I just stood firmly by Segun Showunmi. And even though I was told, look, this thing is not zoned to Segun Showunmi, I kept on saying, you know what, I'm just for Segun. A good party person will know that that thing had not been zoned to Segun Showunmi's and will not waste our breath and our talk. But typically, Doyin vintage me. This is the person I believe in, and that's the person I stuck with. That's what I did with Segun on the issue. So along the line, Dele got involved somehow. And I felt that he said something bad. And typically me, I responded. Yesterday, he just sent me a message and said, "You offended me." I said, "What did I do?" He said, "I wrote something. I came into your thing on Segun Showunmi, and you really dragged me on the floor." Quite frankly, I don't remember what happened. I said, "That thing you talk about would be buried in my whatever, because God knows the number of posts or things I put out every day. But one thing I did, which I have learned to do, was to say, Dele Joma Binu, I'm sorry." I said, "Whatever it is, forgive me." I just wrote that thing, and I have forgotten about it. It wasn't something that I held on to. It wasn't something that I thought to myself, okay, Dele and me now, we are fighting, I've drawn a line. No. I just said my thing, I guess in reaction to the way he spoke then or something, and I'd moved on. But he said, "Oh, can I now begin to comment on your wall?" I said, "Oh, sure. I didn't even notice you stopped commenting." And then, of course, immediately went on my wall and he put some things down. And before he came back, I did him another message. I said, "Dele, God sees my heart. I'm on my knees right now. I'm begging you. Whatever it was I said to you, please forgive me." What did Dele do? Dele came back to me to say, "Doyin, you offended me." I didn't know I had offended Dele. I thought it was just a typical exchange that we usually have on Facebook. You kind of give me a jab, I throw you 2 punches, and I was done with it. But Dele came back and said, "You offended me." Recall that Kweju also came back and said, "You offended me." Maybe we want to, if somebody offends us, maybe we want to go back to the person and say, "I don't know if you know that you offended me, but you offended me." And let the person do what is supposed to be a proper thing, if the person so feels. Or give the person the opportunity to say, "To hell with you again," in which case your conscience would have been cleared before man and indeed before God. The good thing with the two instances I have cited is the fact that I apologized. And you see, when I know I'm wrong, I don't hide behind a finger. Look at me. Look at the finger. In fact, it's worse when you close one eye. When you close one eye, you feel so secure. You think you are hidden. But look at one finger. What is it covering? Nothing. If you are wrong, if you have hurt people, if you are watching me today, if you're going to watch me, if you know you have done something real bad to hurt somebody, or rather, if somebody has done something to hurt you, and you have been keeping it, you've buried it, it's been hitting at you, you hate that person. If that person needs help from you, you will not grant it. I beg you in the name of God, after this broadcast, please go tell the person what the person did to you. Walk up to the person, write the person, call the person and say, "Guess what? I don't know if you know that you offended me. You did. I hurt." Now, if the person has any brain, anything between these two hairs, that is this brain, if somebody comes to you and say, "You offended me," even if you still think you have a case, if I were in your shoes, I would just apologize. It takes the grace of God for the person you offended to come back to you and say, "Guess what? You offended me." And if you know that you have offended somebody today, and you know in your heart that this person really is hurt, do the right thing. Don't make it an ego thing. Don't be too proud to make your proper apologies. I don't know if you noticed with the two examples I gave, my pride, my ego, they were sunk below ground level. I apologized from the depth of my heart because I knew I was wrong. When I'm wrong, when I know I'm wrong, the way I would make the apologies will be such that it is impossible for you not to forgive me. Absolutely impossible. So if you know you have offended somebody, if you know you have hurt somebody, If you know you have done one or two things that in your heart you know it's hurt this person, it's done damage, please, even if the person is still going to say, you know what, please just get away from me, I beg you in the name of God, make the apologies. I'm going to seize this opportunity to call out some, don't let me call out names, I think they'll be embarrassed. But you know yourselves, I've been talking to you privately, telling you to forgive and let go people that hurt you. And you have insisted that except they make apologies, except they do this, except they do that, you're not going to accept the you're not going to make the peace. It doesn't make sense. Please let it go. I'm not one to make peace. The easiest thing for me to do on the face of the earth is to fight. I say it to people. So when somebody starts anything on Facebook in real life, it's just so convenient for me to fight. I don't run from fights. But when I have offended somebody, I don't run from fights to the extent that I haven't offended this person. But if you bring a fight to my doorstep, I'm not the kind of person that will shut the door. I will open it wide and say, sure, you want to fight? Okay, bring it on. But if I know in my heart that I have offended somebody, believe me, I will do everything in this world to make sure that person feels good about what I have done. Take a cue from these gentlemen and ladies. And I thank you for being with me today. It's a real sober one. It's not one that I'm hyper about. My mood is not right. My state of mind is not right. 3 days last week I was in the hospital. I'm just recuperating. I'm just trying to get my ass and my head and my everything together. I'm not feeling too good. But I just felt that I had to come out to talk about something. That's why I'm talking about this today. Kemi Adefule, your perfume is in Nigeria. My friend would call you and let you know where to get it from. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. If you have anything to say about forgiveness, about spirit, those things, please come on with it. Ogunyemi Olugbenga, you said you recall that I've written about this on my wall last year, but I did not detail it until now. Yeah, God does have a way of vindicating his own. And forgiveness is about sacrifice and humility. Tough though. I don't even think forgiveness, yes. Yeah, forgiveness is about sacrifice and humility, and it is truly tough. Because the one you have offended has all the powers. At the point that you have offended somebody, believe me, you are nothing. You are nothing. You have put yourself at a level that you really don't even have any point. If you know, and then, so for the person to forgive you, it takes a lot of sacrifice, it takes a lot of humility, and indeed it can be very tough. A couple of weeks ago, a lady that I took as a sister did offend me. I had to say, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You know why? She sent all the witches and the wizards on earth, in heaven, in the seas, in the trees, under the ground to beg me. When I said I forgave her, and I even did a post to the effect, a lot of people went, tongues will wag. People still come back and say they can't believe you can forgive her and so on. I said, she sent the whole world to beg me. What else do I want? And I said, I forgive her. I let it go. I'm not good at forgiving, don't get me wrong. Go. I can fight for 3 years, for 5 years. But I just felt that she had begged me enough and I wasn't God. And one thing is, once you come to me and say, you offended me, most of the time, even if I'm right, for the mere fact that you came to me and you told me that is enough for me to just apologize and move on. There's really almost nothing to say today. It's a really sober one. I know we are thinking in our heads, and I hope this is really would get people thinking. Who has offended you? Who have you offended? I'm calling on you all to go today to make your peace. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? Yemi Iyere, a couple of years ago, she's dead now. She's not the Yemi I'm talking about in that story, please, so don't confuse them. Yemi offended me, and I fought her. The day I was called and told that Yemi had died, the first thing I said was, I fought this girl to death. And you see, many times when I sit back to think about Yemi and it grieves my heart that I didn't make peace with Yemi until Yemi died. Which was why I took it upon myself to raise some money for our children. And to the glory of God, I probably raised the highest amount on Facebook at that time. I think about Yemi now, and I think in my head, we were so close. She was my aburo, and I loved Yemi, but I never forgave her until Yemi died. And somehow it pricks my conscience. Even though I didn't offend Yemi, Yemi offended me. So, maybe the me talking is going to die tomorrow. I don't want to die. I'm not committing suicide. I'm not saying I would die. But shit happens. It may happen. Excuse my language. Why don't you just make that move? Do the right thing. If you know you have offended somebody, don't hide behind a finger. Come out straight with it, that your forgiveness may be complete. I thank everybody that's joined me today. Bankole additional. Yes, it's true. May God forgive all our sins. And on that note, I say good morning here from Atlanta, Georgia. Good afternoon in London and in Europe. Sorry, Nigeria. Europe and in Nigeria. I'm a bush girl. I'm saying London and Europe. Forgive me. And I wish us again happy celebrations. That's to our Muslim brothers and sisters. And I pray that the rest of the week will be that of peace for all of us. I wish Nigeria well. I wish our leaders well. And I pray prosperity back to my country. I pray peace back to my country. And I pray joy back into people's hearts. Thank you all and God bless. Join me again on Saturday. I expect to be in a better mood, to be able to do something more for effervescent that you all will be able to join in. This is a really sober, reflecting one. But see, you're right. This is more of a sober, reflective thing. I don't want to jump around every time. I keep saying it. I teach somehow. And if today somebody is somewhere and somebody has offended you, this is an opportunity for you to go and, excuse me, and make your apologies. Just like I also feel that if you know you have offended somebody, don't hide behind a finger. Don't hide behind the ego. Don't hide behind anything. Make proper apologies that you may have your peace. Thank you very much. And God bless. Bye, everybody.